Now, from the electoral field, the battle for the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State is shifting to the courtroom. The leadership of the All Progressives Congress has vowed to challenge the election results by the Independent National Electoral Commission, declaring Professor Chukwuma Soludo of the All Progressives Grand Alliance as winner. Well, the state chairman of APC, Basil Ejidike, pointed out that the party resolved to challenge the outcome of the poll at the tribunal because they are convinced that the right things weren't done. Babajide, let's look at this matter critically. You know, there have been several positions on this saying that the APC might not have a chance if it seeks to contest the outcome of the election results at the tribunal. But what's your position, and where do you see this leading to?
Well, I think it's Andy Uba and his friends who can explain what really they are out to achieve with by their intention to go to court. Somebody told me that, well, if Hope Uzodinma, who came fourth, became governor through the courts, that you cannot write off somebody who came third. But the truth is, the PDP came second in the election. They have congratulated Soludo. President Buhari, who is the leader of the APC, has congratulated Soludo. All the former governors of the party of Anambra, irrespective of their political affiliations, have congratulated the APGA candidate. In fact, President Buhari not only said that the election was free and fair, he also expressed the desire to work with Professor Charles Soludo when he eventually takes the mantle of power. But the APC leadership, or a section of the APC leadership, because you cannot talk about APC leadership in Anambra without talking about the little man who is the Minister of Labor, because he it was that brought APC to Anambra State, and is the highest ranking Anambrarian in government. So by that token, he's the leader of the party in the state. And he has said that was by the APC constitution, he's the leader of the party. And he has congratulated Professor Charles Soludo, having won the election. George Mohalu is also one of the leaders of the APC in the state. In fact, he's originally from the CPC. He's the CEO of Inland Waterways. And he has said publicly that the APGA candidate won the election convincingly. So for somebody who was a distant third, to, in spite of the fact that the leader of his party has deemed the election free and fair, to still be going about saying certain things were not properly done. What were those things that were not properly done? EU observers came, they looked at this election and passed it free, fair and credible. International observers, the local observers too, the same thing. So, and everyone knows that INEC deployed some form of technology that made it difficult, made the election difficult to rig, because your facials, your face
is being identified.
Yes, and probably your gap tooth would be
picked up by the machine.
Yes, and matched
with the name,
with your biometric data. If they do not see any of those, you are not going to be allowed to vote. So the era of simply doing mass thumb printing is gone. You have to get past those roadblocks that INEC had created for you to be qualified to vote in the election. And they deployed it in this election. Absolutely. And it made the election credible. So I really don't know what Andy Uba is after. You do not lose anything if an election is free and fair and you simply walk away. After all, that's what the people, even Peter Obi, who should be angry, he built the party in the state. The current governor quarreled with him. In the interest of peace, Peter Obi walked away. He left the party for him. That's a man that he brought. He left the party for him. Peter Obi has already congratulated Soludo. You know, you know, everybody. So I don't know where. And the interesting thing is, even Andy Uba, you know, the primaries that brought him to office has already been challenged. In fact, on December 20, the Federal High Court will give judgment on whether he was validly nominated for that election. What if that judgment should have been given on November 4?
Before the election?
Yes, but it was deemed too close to the election. Now, the judge will give his verdict on December 20. What if that judge now goes ahead to say he was not even valid? So how does he then challenge the election in court? Because it's happened before.
Gani, now with this position taken by Babajide, what are the likely chances now? Let's hear your thoughts that the APC will win if it chooses to challenge the election results at the tribunal.
In the first place, Andy Uba has every right to go to court. So we are not denying him that right. He has the legitimate right to challenge the election, no matter how clean, no matter how untouchable the election was. So that one, he has his rights. And of course, the president was just explaining his own personal opinion on the matter. I think what we need to work on really is why is Andy Uba doing this? Andy Uba, as you know, virtually snatched the party from Dr. Ngige during the primaries with that fantastic surge of members that came in to elect him, 250,000 of them, who are nowhere to be seen on the election day. And his relevance as a party man is now in question because he has tried this, I think, 2-3 times. I think he was even the governor for a bit. So to keep his people happy and to keep his team, for them to now start the campaign to APGA to get appointments, this is what he thought he needed to do. Down the line may not really amount to much. But sometimes you have to understand the way politicians think. They don't think like you and I. 2 + 2 to them is not 4. 2 + 2 may end up at 2,560.
Or 22 itself.
So sometimes you have to take it as part of the game and let it go. Because it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But to the man himself, he must have his reasons. And one of them, of course, is to remain relevant, either within the APC in Anambra State or to become a national player within the party.
But Babajide, what do you think should be the focus of Andy Uba and his party, you know, even as it concerns, as against contesting the outcome of the polls? What do you think should be the focus now if you believe that the party doesn't stand a chance in winning at the tribunal?
I think these are just symptoms of the division within the APC.
Right.
They are bitter that they didn't get the support of some stakeholders within the party. And people like Dr. Chris Ngige have been accused of working against the party, and they are even saying that they will suspend the leader, of the party in the state. That's Dr. Chris Ngige, saying, look, he calls himself leader, but he never really worked for the party. You know, the primaries that that Andy Uba won bred so much anger within the party because they felt he did not win transparently. And even the chairman of the party, AGDK, said that it was Dr. Chris Ngige that spearheaded the protest against the outcome of the primaries. When you have a situation in which somebody emerges and a cross-section of the members of the party did not really agree that he emerged validly, and you are going into an election, of course it's going to be tough for you. A lot of them were hoping that he will win, lose. And many of the party members voted against him just to see his back because they felt that he did not even deserve to win in the first place. So it is the battle for control of the party that we are seeing. They want to move against people within the party that they felt worked against them. But they must first try to show that they didn't lose, the election, give themselves some hope, and then move against people that they felt worked against the emergence of Andy Uba. Because Andy Uba spent a lot of money, both his own and contributions for other people who somehow felt that APC could win in Anambra State. Where that hope came from, I really cannot explain. But politicians are naturally very optimistic. You see clearly that black is white. The black, is black. But the politician will tell you that black is white. So that is the thing. But politicians, a man that they know that best will come 10th in an election, politicians will start calling him excellency the day he made up his mind to contest. My chair is contesting for chairman. He's not likely to win. He can't even get close to winning. But they will be hailing, my chair, that's what they will be calling him. His wife too. They will be calling the wife, my chairperson. That is how politicians deceive themselves. They move against reality. They revolt against reason. It's in their nature to do that. So for me, if you saw, I believe that Andy Uba could have even done better in that election, but did he really campaign? He cited insecurity and all that. He didn't really campaign. People can see pictures of him where he was campaigning because of insecurity. Whereas even the APGA candidate who was attacked and lost 3 of his policemen, the APGA rally was attacked in Ihiala, but he didn't stop Soludo from campaigning even the next day, the day after they killed his people.
Right,
So
let me hold your thoughts for this.
If you fail to campaign for an election, then you should expect the outcome.
Okay, let's quickly take this call from Ilorin. Ololade, please go ahead with your contribution.
Good evening. I'm Akeola Ololade from Ilorin, Kwara State.
Good evening. Go ahead with your contribution.
I want to speak as regards to the breaking of a correctional center. So what they need to do is to fortify those centers more and more. And also our security operatives should work on intelligence gathering, because criminality is advancing every day. And in fact, their own intelligence gathering is more superb than the security operatives. And so this thing has to be tackled holistically. And again, we should stop playing politics with security matters. One will be always be sad when our security operatives goes to other countries. They do well. But why is our own problem still lingering on since 2009? And in fact, it's advancing every day. Criminalities are getting on with their nefarious act.
All right, I'm afraid we cannot continue further, but thank you very much for all you've said so far. on the show. Gani, before we wrap up this segment, what will it take now to unite others who are aggrieved now by the outcome of the elections, which was relatively
I don't know about the APC.
fair. But let's look at the APC. Let's look at the APC.
Well, I think the job is basically that of Dr. Ngige. As the highest ranking government functionary from that state, it behoves on him to unite the party right now. After this, of course, this clownish shenanigan that Andy Uba and his boys are doing. Because the earlier they come together, the earlier they can achieve what I thought will be the agenda for the Southeast when it comes to 2023. And if some other players are moving into APC from Ebonyi and Co. And while Anambra has been standing firm for the last 6 years, they need to unite quickly. Or whatever is coming to the Southeast, they pass them by. So you cannot, as the leader, just pretend that the election is over. This is time to start building and to start building well. Because while Anambra remains an Abga state, the result shows that on a good day, APC can put up a good show. They may not win, but they put up a good show.
Indeed. Now let's move on to our next segment.